In this video, I want to talk about a leader. He was, and he is, I would say, a high performer. And at the time that we got involved, high potential, and there was a big but.
But he was so stretched and stressed. He was working late into the night doing his team's work, which meant his team were unhappy and disempowered, but he was also feeling some stretch and stress at the home as well.
Bonjour, this is Cyril from Work Smarter, Live Better. In this video, I want to share with you how you can help really stressed leaders to suddenly get control and feel that their position is much more sustainable. I'm at the moment in Coffs Harbour. Now, for those who are not in Australia, Coffs Harbour is about 500 kilometers above Sydney. Beautiful place. I'm with Ange and we are with this golf. And tomorrow, Ange and I. So Ange very kindly invited me to present to a few of your leaders.
That's right. You're speaking with our executive team tomorrow.
Exactly. Your part. So tell us about Big Group.
So we're a big retailer in Australia. We look after some of your biggest sporting and leisure brands, and we've got a huge team of people, around 15,000 here. So it's a really important job for our leaders to be at their best for their team.
A few years ago, Anne called me and she was saying, "This leader really need your help. Really stress." And was having this discussion in a plane on the way to here, and suddenly we started talking about, I don't know how we came to the conversation, we started talking about quiet quitting. Tell us about quiet quitting.
In the State of the Global Workforce Report by Gallup in 2023, they talked about 3 different categories of leaders, and about 20% of our employee base are engaged, and then there's 60%, so 6 out of 10 are quietly quitting. So they're doing the needful only. They're doing nothing above and beyond. What's actually even scarier is there's a slant towards the loud quitters or the grumpy stayers, and you might have some of these around you. They're the people who are potentially even doing things that are consciously against the plan or the strategy for the organization.
Now, what I see with many leaders is, one, they've got too many priorities. Yep. They have so many priorities that the word priorities doesn't mean anything anymore. Secondly, they quite often have a few key stakeholders that they report directly or indirectly to, and each of the direct reports or stakeholders give them more priorities, and they completely swap. And then things change so quickly that the goalposts keep shifting.
Yep.
And so they're completely overwhelmed. They're wondering how they're going to do that. They try to work harder and harder, and it's not sustainable.
Yep.
So 3 advice. Clarify, support, and protect. Clarify. When I work with this leader, the first thing I did is say, let's come back to simple thing. Let's come back to basic. We need to really clarify what are your real priority. If everything is important, nothing is important. So we had a whole discussion about the 2 or 3. Let me repeat. 2 or 3 priorities, the thing that will have the most impact. And then we did the same thing not only at work, but I said, let's talk about your personal priority at home. So we clarified that. Really important. Once we had done that, the second step was support. You need to have a discussion with your stakeholders to share those priorities so that they agree on those priorities and they support you in those. And the support is they're going to support with your priorities, but also they will support if another big project comes, they either will shield you from this project or they will agree that one of your priorities will drop. You cannot keep adding. We'll need to keep to those 2 or 3 priorities. So support was, I think, one of the key factors.
Definitely.
So important in this one.
Especially with multiple bosses, multiple stakeholders. You
need this support, 100%. The third point was protect. We sat down with this leader and we really wrote down how he needed to protect, number 1, his personal life. Time with his family, time for his health, number 1. Then we said, how can you protect time for your thinking, what I call your big rocks, time for your team? And we really ring fence and put boundaries around the way he was working. Well, tell us about the results. What happened then?
It was the most heartfelt change I think I've ever seen. It was a really conscious recalibration of work and how he spent time at work, time with team, but most importantly, the family. And I think it wasn't just quiet quitting in the workplace that was a problem. There were some real issues at home, and yeah, it's a real happy ever after story.
It was amazing to see the difference, and so heartwarming to see this. Now, he did the hard work, he did the hard discussion, no question about that, but to see the result was amazing. And so my question to you is, well, 3 questions actually. Do you take the time to really clarify your few priorities? Do you have the support of your leader, your leaders, or your stakeholders? And do you really protect what's important? This is this week Work Smarter, Live Better tip. We're going to go and enjoy this beautiful area. Again, thanks for inviting me there. You have a lovely day. À bientôt.
Bientôt.